Hey, so fun fact, my sister texted me the other day. I'm making a cup of coffee right now, but there's a reason I'm showing you this cup of coffee. Is my sister texted me the other day and it auto-corrected. She meant to say cup of tea and it auto-corrected to cup of yes. And I was like, well, wait a minute. That's a pretty cool concept. It is something that I want to show you today. It's called anchoring, and it's actually a really strong neurolinguistic programming technique to help you be able to get the best thoughts possible and empower you to make the best decisions. So I'm making a cup of coffee, but I have decided to call it a cup of yes, because what we can do is, I don't know how many of you drink coffee in the morning, like raise your hand or say I do or something if you're a coffee drinker. Also, tell me your favorite flavor if you're a coffee drinker. I'm using my Nespresso here and I've got all these flavors in here. But if you enjoy like a morning cup of coffee or a morning cup of tea, what you can do is use this process called, hey honey, how you doing? He's a tea drinker right there. He's a tea man. But this idea of anchoring is when you drink your morning cup of coffee or your morning cup of tea, I want you to consider calling it a cup of yes. So what you can do is like with this, okay, so I just finished making the cup of coffee. It looks delicious. And what you can do is say, okay, here's my cup of yes, right? When I drink this cup, I'm gonna make a conscious decision on what I'm gonna say yes to today. And it could say, I'm gonna say yes to self-discipline. If you're talking about like losing weight, eating healthy, exercising, I'm gonna say yes today to setting my boundaries. If you worry about like people pleasing, I'm gonna say yes today to, maybe it's a task you need to get done. Maybe it's like, you know what, I have been putting this off for so long and I'm just gonna get this one thing accomplished. So this is what I'm gonna say yes to today. So I wanna know from you, what are you gonna say yes to? And the reason this is called anchoring is sometimes it's hard for your mind to get a concept, or you can hold the concept for a minute and then let it go. Like the concept of, yes, I am fully empowered right now to eat healthy. Like that can last, I don't know, maybe like 6 hours. And then when someone makes nachos or brownies and you see them there on the counter, you're like, I think this is where I can like let go of that concept, let go of that thought and that state, and I'm gonna indulge. So what anchoring does is it helps you anchor that belief to something physical in your environment. So if you have a hard time like setting yourself up in the morning for success, start anchoring that cup of coffee or that cup of tea to make it into a cup of yes. Like, this is my process. I'm gonna make a really good decision today. I'm just going to use this one cup as an anchor so that I am making the best decision for me. You may even want to write that down. I don't know if you like to journal or something, but for a lot of people, it helps to write things down and say, okay, so this is my decision and this is how I'm going to practice it today. This is how I'm going to hold fast to this decision today. So I'm going to have my cup of yes, and I'm going to say yes to these 3 things or this one thing. And that will anchor that in there really strong so you can go back to that. And I don't know about you, but I don't just have a morning cup of coffee. Like, are you the kind of person who has your afternoon cup of coffee? Or maybe what I like to do in the afternoon is I like to make a green drink. So I mix together like some of my green powders and put a little neurotropics in there, like, you know, the good brain juice. So that can be like your afternoon cup of yes. So what happens when you get in a state where like, yes, 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 I'm gonna say yes to these things today. I'm gonna say yes to this task that's been looming over my head. I'm gonna say yes to having the best relationship with my partner today. I'm gonna say yes to being an extraordinary mom. I'm gonna say yes to building up my skills, like whatever that looks like. Sometimes that has like an expiration date, right? You can't hold that state for a long time. But if you have that anchor that comes in the afternoon too, go back to it. That will be your anchor, your cup of yes. Okay, so I said yes this morning. I've been building this all day. Even if you haven't, even if you had a lousy morning, you can use that as your next start. So a lot of people say, well, you know, my morning goes bad, then my whole day is like kind of like a crap show. It doesn't have to be like that. It can be like, you know what, I'm gonna anchor right now. This is what I'm gonna say yes to. It might be 4 p.m., but it's a great time to start saying yes, right? So start getting that cup of yes, whether it's in the morning, afternoon, both, whatever. Anchor that great state. Don't just have a cup of coffee. not when you can have a cup of yes. So I want to hear from you. What are you saying yes to today? What has been poking and prodding at you to move forward? What has been lingering over you that you've been distracting yourself from? What is it? What are you going to say yes to today? I can't wait to hear from you. I love you, my friend. I'm rooting for you. Be blessed like crazy.